Hey everybody, my name is Josh Waters and you are watching We're Talking Real Estate. So today I am sitting down with the mayor of Rio Rancho, Mayor Hull. I'm really excited about this. I know a lot of you are real excited about this too, to kind of see what's going on in this wonderful city of ours. What are the plans for the future and how that's going to affect you and your real estate? What are you most excited about that's coming up, that's gonna happen soon?
Well, there's a couple of great projects that are coming up real soon that I think are very excited for the city of Rio Rancho. First one's going to center around City Center out here.
Okay.
Years ago there was this vision to create a downtown for Rio Rancho, so that hopefully the city would expand out in this direction, and we'd have a lot more retail, and we'd have a lot more businesses that establish themselves here, and job creators and so on and so forth. And the thought was, let's move the city away from Albuquerque and create our own center, if you will. And so now, while that plan was a really good plan at the time and it was quite visionary, unfortunately the crash of 2008 happened, and that affected everybody.
Yeah.
So we've really not seen any movement out here at City Center in quite some time. So what's exciting is our partnership with UNM, the college campus out here, and the hospital. We've come up with a way to create a campus park type situation that will become Rio Rancho's community center or civic center, if you will. It'll be a nice, about a 7-acre park out here that will give people the opportunity to just come and hang. Now, there won't be any playground equipment, but there will be kind of an amphitheater type situation where small venues can come and perform at the park. People can come out and just enjoy it. Or you can do a little bit larger venue where you might have a couple hundred people at an event, or we have the great lawn situation where you can put 5,000 people in there.
Wow.
So doing all kinds of different concerts. We're hoping that we're going to do a lot more festivals in this park, like possibly beer and wine festivals perhaps, or bring back Oktoberfest, or do some of those things that create those real community events.
Yeah.
And then of course program those events with food trucks and things like that to make them really exciting and very flexible. So City Center development is about to kick off, and we're expecting that to really start in about the next 4 to 6 months as we get things rolling. And our goal is to open the park by the next 4th of July next year. So that way we can celebrate Independence Day, Pork and Brew will be going on, and we'll celebrate the opening of this brand new facility, and it's just going to be gorgeous.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be a huge community event. Plus, it'll be kicking off our 40th year celebration, because 2021 is 40 years for Rio Rancho.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah, and that means that's good for the people that live down this side of Rio Rancho. It'll definitely, especially once the city starts going and you get more stuff down here, it's going to become a much more desirable place to live, and normally that means home prices go up.
Correct.
Go up as well. So.
Correct. And I'll tell you, Rio Rancho is still a highly desirable community, and as you know, being in the real estate industry, is that homes in Rio Rancho are moving pretty rapidly. So we're seeing some good turnover.
Everything's been moving out here, which has been really nice. Home prices have gone up a ton in the past, just 2-3 years, I've noticed.
Exactly.
Which has been really good. A lot of flipping and revamping older neighborhoods, which is really nice.
Well, we needed that because when the crash happened really in 2008, Rio Rancho was plagued really heavily with a lot of foreclosures.
Yeah.
So getting those foreclosures cleaned up, getting them back on the market, and getting new owners in them really helps the community, and it really takes away those blighted properties that are within the neighborhoods. And so we've seen a lot of those cleaned up, and that's really been a focus to try to help people get those things done.
So what's your vision for Rio Rancho? Your big picture vision.
Well, the big picture is to grow the economy, and I know that's a simple statement, but really that's what Rio Rancho needs. What a lot of people don't understand is, because of our close proximity to Albuquerque, most of the citizens will go down and shop in Albuquerque because that's where the services are.
Yeah.
Now, why are the services there? It's not because Rio Rancho's chasing them away. it's because that's where they know everybody will come
Yeah.
to get their services.
Mhm.
So they're following a shopping pattern, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? So our goal is to get people to bring those services up here to Rio Rancho. And the only way we're going to do that is supporting local businesses. So grow the economy, and as we grow that, we'll have more revenues to invest in different things, quality of life features like new parks, new activity centers, new senior centers. You know, there's a big push to try to get some public services up into the Enchanted Hills area. So we're really short on parks up in that area, Lomas and Cantadas, and the new neighborhoods that are developing up there. There's a shortage of parks. There's a shortage of community centers, and there's no swimming pool up in that area.
Yeah.
So looking at how we can create better quality of life for everybody all over the city.
And so they don't have to drive down to Albuquerque or the east side.
Or even drive all the way to southern Rio Rancho
to
find those services.
To do things, which would be cool. I have that issue a lot where I'll have a party down in Rio Rancho and they're like, oh, I don't want to go to Rio Rancho. I'm like, it's nice.
Yeah.
And then they get down here and I've sold lots of houses to people that were East Siders for life, and then they start coming down here and they're looking and they don't ever come down here, so they have no idea how nice it is, and it's quiet and peaceful, and people really enjoy living here. I really enjoy living here.
For the third largest city in the state, it's impressively quiet. You know, and also being the third largest city in the state. Now I think soon to be second. We have a census coming up, and I want to just say that if you're in the city of Rio Rancho and you get your census in the mail coming up here real soon, I'm really encouraging everybody to fill out the census and get it sent back in, because a lot of public funding that comes from the federal government is dependent on that. So I always encourage people get that done.
Yeah.
And get that sent in or go online or what have you. But so a little plug for that. But when you talk about growing the city, we're probably going to be the second largest city in the state, still ranked as the #1 safest city in the state with a population over 15,000.
Wow.
So now there's a lot of the littler communities that'll have a little better safety ratings because they just don't have the population.
Yeah.
But for the amount of people that we have in this community, that safety is a huge issue. And I can tell you that our police and firefighters and our EMS workers and our dispatchers work very hard to keep the city safe, keep it protected.
I know the police do a good job. I see them all over the place, and they're always willing to help out when they can, and which is super nice.
Well, a safe city helps property values too.
Of course, yeah. The safer the neighborhood, and then nicer the neighborhood looks a lot of the times, and it'll help your property values keep climbing and stay steady, which is what we're all looking for in the end.
Absolutely. Protecting your investment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk about some of the new communities and the new areas that are kind of popping up here. Can you expand on that a little more?
Yeah, I sure can. Is that there's actually quite a few new communities that are popping up now. Mariposa has a new community in there that's being built out by Pulte, and so you've got a new neighborhood being built into Mariposa. So that's a great one. You have a great new community over next to Cleveland High School called Cleveland Heights, and that's about 200 new homes that are going up right there. So that's a fantastic development, and it's going to be very, very much like Loma, Colorado, where they're going to build that community around that high school. And so the high school will really kind of be the center focus of the area. And then so you've got Cleveland Heights, and then down Broadmoor you've got you've got Mellon Ridge, Broadmoor Heights, and Salcedo that are all building out right now, and you've got some great builders in there. You've got D.R. Horton, you've got LGI, you've got Pulte, and a few of the other builders that are going on in that particular area. And then the big development that's coming forward is going to be across from Russ Medical Center out in the area we call Unit 10. And that has been a very undeveloped area.
Yes, for a long time.
It's for a very long time. But now we're bringing in the public infrastructure, we're bringing in the water and the sewer. Joe Harris Elementary is being built. As a matter of fact, it's already broken ground out there. They're already in the construction process. And so that one's going to bring in 450 new homes,
Okay.
and a 65-acre business park, so that we can start building some businesses here as well. So really addressing that. And what you're going to see, and I address this with a lot of the different people from the community, you're going to see West Side Boulevard being completely built out. The first question is why are you building another road out in the middle, of this area before you fix all these other roads? Well, that's a developer road. The developer's going to be building that. So sometimes when you see roads being built out to these communities, the developers are paying to put those in. So those are not public funds that are being used to support a private development.
Yeah, which is, and you've done a ton of fixing roads all over the place, and Southern is looking great.
Southern is looking wonderful. We're about to wrap up. We just wrapped up Rockaway.
Yeah.
Rockaway looks beautiful.
I live right off Rockaway.
Long overdue
fantastic
on that street, right?
Yeah, no, that one's been a bit of a mess for a long time, and it looks wonderful.
And we're about to do Sunt now, so
Okay.
Sunt will get redone. And then we're about to wrap up Abrazo. Now, well, that's a little further out. That's probably about 30 days out, because if you drive by, they're putting down what's known as the base course, and so they've got all the curb and gutter in, they've got all the utilities fixed, and every road that we've torn up, we've made sure that while the road was up, we replaced the utilities underneath the road, because obviously Rio Rancho has some utility and infrastructure issues.
Yeah.
So we're addressing those together. We're not going to put down a brand new road and then go back and tear it up to put down a pipe. So we've got to have the money for the infrastructure and the road before we'll rip it up, because it just doesn't make sense to put down a new road and then go back and tear it right back up.
Tear it up and then put down a new road.
That might make sense to some, but it never made sense to me.
No.
So while I'm the mayor, we're gonna do things very systematically, and it takes a little longer to get stuff done, but it gets done right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might take a little longer now, but if you put down a road and then you have to pull the road back up and put a new road back down, then now instead of being slightly inconvenienced for a little bit, you're 3-4 times a year inconvenience.
You really are. Plus the waste of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
You just don't want that.
No.
But I can tell you right now that the homes up in the homes where we're putting in these new roads and we're getting them fixed, they're becoming more and more desirable, because the roads look really good going in there. A couple of years ago we did High Resort.
Yeah.
And everybody has just raved about High Resort, how wonderful that road is, and it was a terrible road. It was in terrible shape. Sarah, when we did that one. So we've got roads torn up all over the city. You can't hardly drive anywhere without seeing an orange barrel. I do apologize for that, but then again, I don't, because the number one thing when I got into office that people said is, let's fix the roads.
Yeah.
And I will say this to anybody that's listening is, I know there are a lot of roads that need to be fixed. There's over 400 miles of roads that need to be fixed, and residences and so on and so forth. So we have to move through them systematically. And there's that old saying of, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, I just let everybody know I'm eating as much elephant as I can possibly eat, one bite at a time. But we're getting it done, and all of our resources are deployed. But new housing projects popping up all over the city. Lomas and Cantadas, as a matter of fact, up in the Enchanted Hills area. That's that whole area behind Mountain View Middle School back there. So that's all being developed out, and the homes in there, and you've got a builder in there. Hake Brothers are in there, and a few others, a few other builders in there, and I think Abrazo Homes is in there as well.
Yeah.
So you've got some great builders all over the community that are doing beautiful homes. So great place to live.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it's elementary school coming
Joe
up.
Harris.
And then I've heard that next year will be the last year for Shining Stars is getting a new home as well.
Correct. Now Shining Stars will be moving out of their building that's right there at Rockaway and Northern. And then if you go north on Loma, Colorado, from Northern until it dead ends, you'll see it's back in there.
Yeah.
So you have to go back up. You go north of Northern, you cross over Idalia, go a little bit further up. There's a community out there called High Range, and so it's right behind High Range.
Okay.
So on the north side of High Range.
Cool. Yeah, I know all our teachers over there are very excited about that. I'm in very close contact with a lot of those teachers.
We've got a lot of buildings going on all over the city. We've got the 2 schools that are being built. The 3rd high school for Rio Rancho is in the planning stages.
Cool.
So we'll have 3 high schools here very soon. because of our growing population. There's other plans for, I think, another middle school at some point in time as well. And then both hospitals have expansion plans. Rust is about to kick off another expansion.
Oh, wow.
And Sandoval Regional is about to kick off another expansion. And then UNM has the college out here. We've gotten that program to take on a medical focus now, and so they'll be building a labs building and some other things out here to support getting that 4-year degree in the healthcare industry.
Okay, awesome. And then they can just feed the hospital.
Feed them right into Sandoval Regional. That's what makes sense. It wasn't set up like that when I first took office, and we've worked very hard to get that streamlined so that they're working together now as opposed to as separate entities.
Okay, awesome. And that's always good for, I mean, if you get more high-paying jobs in the area, you're going to get more higher-end houses, which brings up everybody's comps up and keeps the market flowing, and not to mention just more demand on the existing houses out here with more jobs and more people coming down.
Absolutely. And when you talk about jobs, there are a lot of jobs all over the city, and you can start from very basic level, move into what I call some of the great training field jobs. We've got the customer contact centers that are always hiring here in town, whether that's SafeLight or S&P Data, PCM.
Bank of America's got a nice
Bank of America's got a nice customer contact center, and then Alliance Data, they've got one out here as well. So there's a lot of jobs there. But then for more of the professional stuff, as we expand the medical opportunities out here, the medical profession, there's just an abundance of opportunity here in Rio Rancho for the real cornerstones that we've put into the community with these 2 hospitals.
Yeah. These
hospitals are state of the art, they're really, really new, and they're very popular as far as service-wise goes, because they're delivering top-notch service. And then you also look at the fact that when you talk about buying a home in a community, is that Intel has just announced, obviously, that they're hiring upwards of 300 new people as well. And those are all very, very, very high-paying jobs. Yeah. But, because they're doing that hiring, that's creating a lot of new jobs in the community as well, whether that be in the restaurants or in some of the different service industries. There's one company that I know of in town that has hired at least 300 plumbers and pipe fitters just to support the Intel projects.
Yeah.
So the job growth from something like an Intel announcing 300 jobs is exponential.
So I think that covers most of what I was planning on asking you. I appreciate your time today and answering the questions, and I know they appreciated it too, and I know that you're doing a wonderful job, and we all appreciate the hard work that you're putting in and getting everything done for us. And any final words for everybody out
Josh,
there?
I just really appreciate you sharing your audience with me so that we can get more information out. There's a lot of things going on in the community, and I'm always willing to get out and update everybody on what's going on. I know there are questions about what we're doing, and I try to be open and accessible. So if you have a question, just reach out and catch me on Facebook or give me a call at the office. My cell number is published on the city's website, and I even put it on my business card. So I want people to give me a call, and you can always email me at ghull@rrnm.gov. That's Rio Rancho, New Mexico, the acronym rrnm.gov. You can email me there if you have any questions about stuff that's going on around the city.
Awesome, thank you. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share so you can get this information out to your friends and family. And as always, if you know of anybody, run into anybody that's looking to buy or sell, I always appreciate your referrals, and I'd love to help out your friends and family. Thanks, guys. Hope you're having a good day. Bye.